Thank you. I am so honored to have this opportunity to speak to such a distinguished audience on the topic of nurturing resilience in the midst of a pandemic. I love words. As I pondered the idea of nurturing resilience, my first step was to consider the words themselves. Resilience implies the ability to persevere and retain or recover oneself, one's integrity, one's personality while under pressure. Nurturing speaks to providing nourishment or support. A pandemic is pressure like few of us have ever had to endure. I wondered if there was a way to summarize something so enormous into a concept I could cover in just a few minutes. And I decided on a two-word theme to guide us: wise wholeheartedness. Again with the words. I understand the multi-dimensional nature of both wisdom and wholeheartedness in a time like this. Wisdom includes thoughtful consideration of past, present, and future. If you're acting with wisdom, you will bring your experience, your mindful awareness of the current moment needs, and an understanding of the big picture to the table. You will use these concepts as you embark on caring for yourself and others. As for wholeheartedness, I think the four-dimensional nature of people, of who we are, needs to be understood. There are no such things as human islands. We are all connected and we are together, even in our separateness right now. We are made up of mind, body, spirit, and social connections. These four dimensions each need care and rejuvenation and discipline right now and always. How do we do this? I want to make a distinction between the mind and the brain. I want you to think of the mind as that wise, objective counsel that is in you, between you, that helps you look at the information that you receive and make decisions and guide you in matters that are big and small. We are more than our thoughts and our emotions. We also, just like an airplane that has a guidance system, also has a pilot. I want you to think of the mind as the pilot of the ship that you operate. The ability to observe ourselves and make decisions with wisdom, considering not just the feelings, not just the thoughts in the present moment, but also our experience, what the true needs of the moment are, and the big picture is a function of our mind. Now, we do live in a body. We do have this clay pot and this ship with which we navigate the waters of life. We have to realize both our limits and our potentials. We have to understand that neither of these in and of themselves are character flaws. If I am tired, it's okay to rest. If I can go farther, that's wonderful too. And the thing to understand with the body and with the brain is that many times we're going to experience more than one feeling at a time. It's okay to be sad and it's okay to be happy. It's okay to have both of those feelings at the same time. I'm hearing people here many times. There are a lot of people who are suffering great losses right now. And there are also people who are feeling content and able to work from home. And both people end up picking on themselves for that. If we can keep in mind that the mind and the body can feel so many things at one time. That is super important. And then we have to remember that we also have a spirit, that special thing that makes us unique. I mean, think about it. Right now on the planet, there's over 7 billion people. But in all of human history, no matter what happens, in this moment, there's one you, ever. No matter what presentation you have, you will never be the same as you are in this moment. And that is unique and that is powerful. We have to remember to allow ourselves to reach for meaning and purpose, to figure out who we are in essence, what our values are, and connect to those, whatever form that takes. We are also not isolated. We are social creatures. Neuroscience has shown this with mirror neurons, and we've known this innately for millennia. We have to find very innovative ways to reach out to each other during this time. Remember, we are all united in our fear and uncertainty right now, and it presents in different ways. When we see people that look like they're panicking, or we see people who are struggling, we have to understand that really the base of both of those things are the same. We want to reach out and we want to be creative about how we do that. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I am well known for being practical, for coming up with ideas that can make the theory of how life works actually functional. So let's go back to the mind. How do we bring our experience, our present moment needs, and the big picture into our treatment of the mind? Well, first of all, we need to be careful to disengage from too much emotive stimulation that stirs up the mind and the emotions. There's a lot of news media and print media out there, the whole purpose of which is to capture our emotions and draw us in. But it makes it very difficult for us to have that stand back approach, that mindful approach to life when we have stirred ourselves up so much. Try to stay away from imagery that is fear focused, from social media that makes you feel bad about yourself or others. Most importantly, slow down. Find your values and make your decisions based on those. As for the body, it's very important to keep yourself moving, working on both rest and movement, exercise, getting out into nature. That is important on many of the dimensions. Another really important thing nowadays is to have a way to remind yourself, to stop yourself, to check in with yourself and see what your needs truly are in the present moment. If we're not paying attention, we're going to go by old messages. We're going to do what just comes naturally. But this is not a typical situation, so it's important for us. Sticky notes, cell phone reminders, friends, routines, things that help us stop and notice. Have I rested? Have I moved? How am I actually feeling? Is it an accurate representation of what's going on right now? Another important, and this might be surprising, but important body consideration, because I'm thinking about the brain in particular, is the idea of gratitude. Now, many of the people I work with struggle with depression and anxiety and trauma, and they have family members that say things to them like, well, you have so much, you should just be happy. That is not the gratitude of which I speak. Our brain, when we are in a troubled situation, goes very much into binary deficit mode. Everything is a problem, and it will draw our attention to all of the deficits in life. Gratitude allows the ability for possibilities to open up and for us to see our assets as well as our deficits. Making a natural, everyday breath Sabbath of stopping periodically and noticing what you actually have to fight for and with in any given moment. To notice what you have working for you as well as what's working against you is crucial to mental health. Now, I know people who would say, I don't have any assets right now. Well, that's okay. Think about what you can add to your day tomorrow that would make you notice some assets. What would make you happy? What might help you feel grateful? Try some things. Don't leave it up to circumstance. And right now, if you're by yourself, it's the time for you to use your internal experience, mindful wisdom, and understanding of the big picture to nurture that body of yours. As for the spirit, that spirit is who you are. Do you love to write? Do you love nature? Maybe meditation, taking a moment out of life to just notice your body, notice your surroundings, and try to connect to beauty, to purpose. What can you actually get from these times? Can you learn how strong you are? Can you take that much needed moment to just reflect on what's actually happening in the present moment as I sit here and I have my cat over there and my beautiful view out the window. Now, many of us are suffering very difficult situations. Can I sit in my own space and allow my emotions to just move through me without letting it overwhelm me? Can I allow a hug with a person I can hug? Can I allow myself to reach out for help? Those are spiritual activities. And finally, social. Oh my goodness, we still can be social. Now, as for the brain, this two-dimensional thing just does not cut it, and I understand that. There is going to be pain right now, but we can become creative and innovative. We can use our bodies to write notes. We can call someone on the phone. We can keep up some of our connections even when we don't feel like it. We want our minds and our spirits to guide us a little bit more than just the guidance system instruments themselves these days. I love what Brené Brown has said about the vulnerability of reaching into our spirit selves and trying to connect to another person. She said, vulnerability is the birthplace of innovation, creativity, and change, and that is absolutely true. And what I really want to do is help us to remember today the shining, multifaceted, four-dimensional gems that we all are, allowing ourselves our unique needs and emotions in the present moment and keeping the big picture in mind as we're making decisions. As we walk down this pandemic road, one step at a time, I believe as a whole, we will emerge stronger, wiser, and more connected than ever. Thank you for your time, and I wish you all the best health, safety, and love in the days to come.